Okay, it's Doug Coy. So what do you think.com with my friend Raging Ron, of course, from Smart Mouth Cafe. And hey, well, let's start with this one, Ron. Vancouver fell to number 2 behind Melbourne, Australia, as the most livable city in the world. Your thoughts?
I can understand. There's a top 5 most livable city that pick anyone. They're all beautiful, spectacular places. What was the criteria by which we dropped? What did they say the reason was?
Well, evidently it had to do with the Malahat, which is in Victoria, which is on an island. You have to drive a ferry to get there,
That's
so
right.
maybe the criteria is missing.
That's like knocking down Manhattan for something that's going on Long Island.
Yeah,
Same
or
thing.
Jersey. There's a lot of things about Vancouver that kind of drive you crazy. I guess Canada to a certain extent. One of them is the justice system.
Justice.
And so we should call it the injustice system.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, honestly, Ron, I pick up the paper today, the local paper, and the family of a slain man appalled that UBC, that's University of British Columbia, is allowing the killer to continue studies. Here in Canada, it's unbelievable. It's beyond. This guy stabbed his friend over 30 times to death 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And now he's going to college. Get this, Ron. You ready for this one?
Yeah,
Are you ready for this one? He got a scholarship
Yeah.
to go there.
How much was the scholarship?
Well, it's $1,000.
It's 1,000 more than I got.
Yeah.
You know.
So he got $1,000, but I mean the deal is, he stabbed a guy to death. Not only did he get a manslaughter type of thing, how did he get a manslaughter out of that?
So he was convicted, and now he's coming out. He's going to go.
He's on day
back
parole.
to school. So he's going to go back to school. So when he's
To be a lawyer.
So we're assuming when he's done all this, he's going to be a lawyer. So does he have to put like the conviction on the wall beside the plaque, beside the diploma? Like, what does he have to do for that?
Well,
Can you practice law if you've been convicted of manslaughter?
No.
So then,
So why is he getting to be a lawyer?
why is he even eligible?
I mean, the whole thing, it doesn't make sense. And so there's things in this world that just doesn't make sense to me. Like, how do you rate the best city in the world? You know, another city that's in the running, there's 2 other cities in the top 5 or 6, I think. That's Calgary and Toronto.
Oh, Calgary and Toronto.
Yeah, I mean, in Canada.
Really, eh?
Yeah.
Well, I've worked in Toronto, lived in Calgary, and lived in Vancouver a long time.
There's no
And
comparison.
There is no comparison. I live 2 blocks from the water. I don't even pay, if I may say, $1,000 a month for rent. I live 2 blocks from the Pacific Ocean. When I come home, I got a half an hour. I go down to I go sit by the ocean and read a book.
Yeah.
And my neighborhood is quiet as a church mouse after 5 p.m. There's nothing going on. It's only when masses of people come to visit, that the place really gets, busy and bustling. But for all it's worth, it's a pretty small town.
I'm going to throw one other thing in there. I think what happened is we don't realize how much the riots after the Stanley Cup
That's fair enough.
affected the image of Vancouver. I mean, whether these guys are voting and saying it's a Malahat or not, I mean, still, when you have an image of a city and it's broadcast around the world, police cars being turned over, set on fire, stores being broken into, and all that kind of stuff. And people are a little appalled when they come down into the area that you work in and I live in, which is called Gastown, which is a lovely little community if you look at it right now. But if you go down the alleys here, the smell of urine will drive you crazy. And there is open drug use. And we do have, this boggles people's minds, especially from the States, that not only do we kind of support drug use, but we actually have a place for people.
We almost encourage it.
Yeah, we actually pay money out of our taxes to give people a safe environment to go do their drugs.
I think though that Gastown, as you see it over our shoulders, it's the epitome of Vancouver. It's a lot of window dressing over top of some really ugly things. Vancouver's got an amazing amount of things to offer, but one thing they do very well is put a lot of lipstick on a pig, as they say.
Well, that's because we're the film capital of the world and everything's smoke and mirrors.
Sure. Somebody wants to redo the facade of my restaurant, I'll let them.
Well, anyway, that's kind of our rant for today. We love Vancouver. Don't get us wrong. We love Vancouver. We're also very aware that there's a lot of problems in Vancouver, and it does get covered up. And is it a livable city? Yes. But there's some things you got to look at. And the other thing is the justice system. I don't know what we're going to do about that, honestly. Let's just call it what it is, the injustice system, or unjust system.
It is.
It is. So, Ron, close this thing off.
So what do you think?
So what do you think? Had to get the last word in.
He always does, eh?